Hey everyone, welcome to the thing I'm doing. I should stand up because of the banner. Sit up. Yeah, sit up. My name is Frank, if you couldn't tell, because you probably can't, because he doesn't say it now, it does. All right, Frank with exclamation points. I'm just hanging out tonight. I'm drinking my adult beverage. It's tea. Chamomile, strong stuff. Running it over steep. You know how it is. And I am going to be doing a bunch of stuff tonight. I am going to work on a couple of projects that I have long overdue, which I really need to get done, and cleaning up the studio a little bit, and then also watching some crap, which you can watch with me, as is the style of the time. I'm wearing the same hoodie I wore last time, I think, or this is just masterfully edited, or this is just a costume I wear. You decide how funky your chicken is, and then you let me know later on. Please join me in chat and in other places. If you actually want to be on the stream, just say something in chat, and I will throw you a link, and you can join me in not real space. Yeah, those are Wendy's kids meals, whatever. Their happy meal, their meal thing, their meal plan. Those are the Wendy things from Halloween this year and last year. They were so cool. I can't believe more people haven't talked. Dinosaur Dracula, why no love for Wendy's? I don't know why I assumed you were watching. Matt, if you're watching, why no love for Wendy's? Etc. Let me see what's going on with our... all right, yeah, the invites are out, the shared are shared, and the thingamajigs are jigging. Yes. So what's up on our agenda? I've got Wonder Man to talk about, sock puppets, Wonder Man sock puppets, kids RPGs for kids, not RPGs starring kids. There's Clearing the Workbench and Soul Man. Should I start with recording Soul Man? I might actually just do a read-through of Soul Man because I haven't in a while. Soul Man is a sketch that I have written for none other than the illustrious Jonathan Taylor Thomas Minus. I've done that joke so many times. It's not even a joke because there's no punchline. Yeah, it's a sketch for his show called Geeks of Wrath. It airs on our Twitch channel every Tuesday night. This one Eastern. I think 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I have a sketch I wrote for him that I should probably finally actually record. So I might actually do this. This is now like 3 weeks late. And by 3 weeks, I mean like 40 years. 1986. Yeah, that's about 40 years. That's 40 years. So let me pull up my recording software and get on that. How are you doing? Good, I hope, on this cold day. Wherever you happen to be. Hello! Recording my voice! Cool. Let me pull up the stream in case something happens I need to react to. Hi, stream. I'll put you over. Nope, I'm going to leave you where you were. And I am going to share my screen for the script, as is the style of the time. Where is my... No, I want to do this. I'm going to share that. I guess I'll share the audio, even though there's really no audio involved in this process at this stage. Okay, wow. Yeah, we don't need it to be that extreme. Let's see if I can make it less extreme for you at home. So for those of you who are fans of, what was the show called again? I just said it, Geeks of Wrath. You remember intern Andy mentioned C. Thomas Howell, or somehow Ponyboy came up. You know what? I don't really remember the context of it anymore. But Ponyboy led to C. Thomas Howell, which led to Soul Man. And then I wrote a sketch about it. And then 2 weeks later, I'm beginning to record it. But it's going to be for Black History Month because we've done nothing but make bad decisions. Oh, right. Should this be a video or should this be... I should have thought about that. No, we're going to do this as a video, so I'm going to look directly at the camera, and I will supply them with the footage afterwards. All right? Yay! That didn't do anything. Speaking of C. Thomas Howell, let's talk about 1986's Soul Man, where a rich kid from Southern California poses as a black man to win a scholarship to Harvard. If you know this movie, you know it because it aired a lot on HBO in the late 80s, or because it has the gorgeous Ray Dawn Chong and nearly as gorgeous James Earl Jones in it. I guess this will just be a straight read before I do it again, looking at the camera. Maybe. I feel like I want to wear a suit for this, or at least zip this up all the way up and then put my hood on. What do you think? Or because of the blackface, because there is a lot of blackface. See, to get the scholarship... Oh, we probably just got flagged everywhere for saying the phrase. See, to get the scholarship to Harvard, C. Thomas Howell's character doesn't just have to lie on an application. He has to go full D.W. Griffith and change his hair, his skin, and his mannerisms to be more black. Something he accomplishes by overdosing on suntan tablets. In fact, don't take my word for it. Here's a clip. Oh, there's no clip? We're not showing the clip of blackface? Probably for the best. The premise seems awful, and I guess it is, but what might be worse is that the film almost tries to take a stand for something as Howell faces racism in the form of landlords that won't rent to him and people that objectify his sexuality and otherness. But it never sticks to the landing and instead wiggles out of saying anything too deep, even for 1986, with slapstick. Also, there's an entire line to your significant other about who you are and never saying sorry about it. Anyways, it's ripe for a reboot. Only this time, cast Awkwafina in anything. Now, I know what you're saying, but Frank, I don't know what that is. Can you customize your content to whatever my specific knowledge base and interests are? Okay, that's the ad. That's the ad read. So we'll go into the ad read afterwards. All right, I'm going to attempt to read this straight through, making kind of eye contact with the only lover I've ever known, the camera, and I will give this a good go and send him the footage afterwards. The footage, as they say. Let's see. No one says that. Really? You can't? All right. How about 175? Oh, fit. Nope. 175. Boom. All right. This is what you came here for. Hot resizing action. Speaking of C. Thomas Howell, let's talk about 1986's Soul Man, where a rich kid from Southern California poses as a black man. It's passes, as I always want to say passes. I'll try it one more time, but I'm not going to keep rereading this. Speaking of C. Thomas Howell, let's talk about 1986's Soul Man, where a rich kid from Southern California poses as a black man to win a scholarship to Harvard. If you know this movie, you know it because it aired a lot on HBO in the late 80s, or because it has the gorgeous Rae Dawn Chong and nearly as gorgeous James Earl Jones in it, or because of the blackface, because there's a lot of blackface. See, to get the scholarship to Harvard, C. Thomas Howell's character doesn't just have to lie on an application, he has to go full D.W. Griffith and change his hair, his skin, his mannerisms to be more black, something he accomplishes by overdosing on suntan tablets. In fact, don't take my word for it, here's a clip. Oh, there's no clip. We're not doing clips of blackface. Probably for the best. All right, we can do a cut there, and the premise seems awful, and I guess it is. But what makes it worse is that I'll read that again since we're doing a cut there anyways. The premise seems awful, and I guess it is, but what might be worse is the film almost tries to make a stand for something, as Howell faces racism in the form of landlords that won't rent to him, people that objectify him for his sexuality and his otherness, but it never sticks the landing, and instead it wiggles out of saying anything too deep with classic slapstick. And instead wiggles out of saying anything too deep, even for 1986, with slapstick. Also, there's the entire lying to your significant other about who you are and never saying sorry about it. Why can't I read that line? Is it because I'm a monster? Probably. Also, there's the entire lying to your significant other about who you are and never saying sorry about it. Anyways, it's ripe for a reboot. Only this time cast Awkwafina in everything or anything. All right, here's the ad read that can be tagged in. I don't want to be dressed like this for the ad read, but I think it's just going to be audio. Let's see. Now, I know what you're saying, but Frank, I don't know what that is. Can't you customize your content to whatever my specific knowledge base and interests are? To that I say, join the Non-Pro Patreon. Have you ever wanted to feel like a 15th century noble person with the funds and means to decide who lives and who dies? Well, now you can. Why is the audio really flaking out? That's interesting. Hey, can you people hear me at home? Yeah, you can. I can see it. All right. My audio recorder's being a little kooky. Well, now you can. With you as our patron, we'll have to listen to whatever whiny, inconsistent shit you say. Want to change the topic of the episode? Of course. Want to change the name of our show? Sure. Please just give us another $1 so the baby can eat, sire. Go to patreon.com/nonpro today and keep the lights on. Thanks to our patrons for supporting this plea for help. Now on with the show. All right, good enough. For those of you watching, silently and judging me, what's your opinion? Nothing? There we go. Pull that out. Where are we at? All right. Back to our task list, and we have Wonder Man's amazing, by the way. I'm only 2 episodes in, but I love it. And if you don't, you're wrong-hearted. What can I say? All right. For those of you watching along, I'm going to watch something right now just to kill some time before a few people might want to come in later on. Shall I watch an episode of The Adventures of Ellery Queen, which is a mystery crime detective story? Or DuPont Cavalcade Theater? Ooh. Or Tales of Tomorrow. God, Tales of Tomorrow sounds good. Climax! You know what? I'm going to do Tales from Tomorrow. Episode 1. Season 1, Episode 1. Verdict from Space. That's going to be fun. All right. Let's get that going. Perfect. Or should I do this? Which is better? Not that. Not that. Not that. This? Yeah, that's good.
Order! Order in the court! Man is on trial for his life. If there are any more interruptions by the public, I shall order the courtroom cleared. Prosecutor will continue his cross-examination of the defendant.
Now, Mr. Kemp, how much did you earn last year?
You mean from my machine shop?
From all sources.
About $3,600.
And with this $3,600, you had to support yourself, your mother, and buy equipment for the shop.
That's right.
But you're ambitious, Mr. Kemp.
I don't understand you.
You're an inventor, aren't you? Didn't you invent this supercharged blowtorch marked Exhibit B?
Yes.
And isn't this blowtorch more powerful than any other similar piece of equipment on the market today?
Yes, but I've already told you
This
The power-
invention has a commercial value, then.
Definitely.
Is it patented?
No, but I've already...
Please answer the questions. Did you intend to patent it?
Yes, until all this
And
happened.
was it your intention to lease your patent to a manufacturing concern or to build these torches yourself?
Myself.
I see. Thank you. Now, Mr. Kemp, what would it cost to patent your invention?
About $1,000, they told me.
And to equip your shop to produce it commercially?
About...
About $5,000, Mr. Kemp?
Yes, somewhere around
So
there.
you stole the $5,000 from the corpse of Professor Adrian
I
Sykes?
didn't steal it!
Sustained!
I will rephrase.
As a lawyer, how am I going to do this?
Canceled bank book shows that Professor Sykes withdrew from his account $5,000 on the day he met you for the first time. Your bank account shows a corresponding deposit. Is that correct?
I guess so.
Now, Mr. Kemp, how would you, a mechanic earning $3,600 a year, obtain such a large sum of money?
From Professor Sykes, but I
From
told you
his
how...
dead body after you killed him,
No.
after you burned him to death in the
No.
court?
The prosecution will avoid prejudicial remarks.
With the court's permission. Now, Mr. Kemp, you have testified that Professor Sykes gave you $5,000 as a fee for services to be performed by you and your blowtorch. Now, I ask you, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is it credible that a man like Professor Sykes, a timid archaeologist, would give you, a total stranger, his entire life savings to accompany him on a mission I can only describe as fantastic?
I know it sounds fantastic, but
And
if
the
you'll...
state contends that it is. The state contends that you deliberately invented this story of non-existent caves and incredible machines to cover up a sordid case of murder for profit. A case, ladies and gentlemen, unusual only for the horrible manner in which the crime was committed. Do you have any evidence for the existence of
kill
this
Professor Sykes. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard the testimony of the witness in the case for the prosecution and defense. I must point out to you that the case for the state rests solely on circumstantial evidence.
Let you take the stand. We might have done better with a temporary insanity defense.
Don't you believe me either?
Anyway, I did the best I could.
But you don't believe me.
The
It sounds so
defendant has been
fantastic.
charged with the murder of
We couldn't
Professor
find the
Adrian
case.
Sykes.
We couldn't find the machine.
But it's true. Everything I told you is true. I've told them everything I know. Police, the judge, the jury. But what's the use? I know what the verdict's going to be. Guilty. And then I'll go back to
Oh,
that
now take
cell.
it easy, son. Now take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy.
Your task, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is to determine the truth on the basis of the facts presented in evidence. If there exists any reasonable doubt in your minds, you must, in all conscience, acquit the defendant. The jury will now retire and consider its verdict.
The court is recessed.
There's a great Futurama bit where the
Nothing to do now, you know.
jury walks out and immediately walks back in. That's underrated.
Never
I
tells
think.
when the jury gets back. The funny thing about juries, I remember a case once you'd have sworn I'd lost it, and the jury said,
Shut up. Leave me alone.
Not guilty, they said. Oh, you could have knocked me over with a feather. And I found out later that the foreman of the...
Shut up. Let me alone.
Okay. Don't get sore. The foreman had twins that morning, and he was 63 years old.
Let me alone.
Yeah.
Me as practicing attorney. One more bit. One more bit. I love the character. I love the guy just chowing down on a sandwich in the background. Oh, it's a bailiff.
Come up for dinner?
Okay, Ma, I'll be up in a minute.
You said that an hour ago.
Who are you?
My name is Sykes, Professor Adrian Sykes. I'm an archaeologist. Maybe you heard of me.
Sykes. No, I don't think I have.
No matter. You will. Before long, everyone will. Mr. Kemp, I've come a very long way to see you. I must talk to you.
Well, look, can't it wait till morning? I'm pretty tired.
No, it can't wait. The world has been waiting long enough. You see, I found the key to the past.
Sure you have. Look, why don't you come back tomorrow and you can tell me all about it?
You think I'm insane, don't you? Maybe this will change your mind.
10-gauge wire. So what?
Try to cut it. Well? You'll do much better if you use that new supercharged torch of yours.
What do you know about my torch?
I heard about it from a colleague at the university. That's what brought me here.
Look, just what do you want?
I need your torch.
Well, it's not for sale. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I don't want to buy it. I want you to help me to open a metal door.
Oh, another one of those, huh? Where's your door, Professor? Is it the First National Bank or Fort Knox?
Listen to me. Do you know what it means to spend your life digging into the past and getting nowhere? Pottery or relics does nothing unto You yourself get part of that dust. While others, with less talent but with money and influence, make discoveries that startle the world. The tomb of King Tutankhamun, the Rosetta Stone. Discoveries that make them famous. And then, one day, you yourself, who have always stood in the shadows of these men, are on the brink of making the greatest discovery of them all.
Well, that's very interesting, Professor, but what can I do about it?
Everything. With your torch, you can open the door to my cave.
To your cave?
I found it by accident, years ago. Inside this cave is a machine. Oh, Kemp, you've never seen such a machine.
What makes this one so different?
This machine has been recording on wire every physical disturbance that has shaken the face of the Earth for the past 1,000,000 years.
Oh, now really?
Every storm, every earthquake, every tidal wave. It's all there on this wire. This is a piece of it. It took me months of work to get it.
Sure. I suppose about 1,000,000 years ago, some ape invented this contraption and then stuck it in a cave, huh? Very smart monkey. Oh, now look, really, I've got to get to bed. I've got to get up early in the morning.
Wait, perhaps this. This will change your mind. There's $5,000 there. That's all I have. It's yours. If you will open that door.
5,000. I could buy machinery and start producing the torch myself.
Yes, you could.
Okay, Professor. You got yourself a deal. When do we start?
Tonight. There's no time to lose.
Tonight?
Kemp, I waited for this for years. I can't wait any longer.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Where are you going?
I'm just going to tell my...
No. You must tell no one. No one. Must be very near.
Look, Professor, we drove all night to get here, and we've been combing this area for hours. Now, I'm hot, and I'm tired, and I'm hungry, and there's no door around here.
It must be.
Look, Professor, I've been thinking. How did you get into that
That's
cave
the
first
proto
time
loop.
if it's sealed by a door?
Mining.
It was open when I found it the first time. When I returned the second time, it was closed, sealed tight. Who knows? Perhaps I was getting too close to the answer.
Yeah, perhaps.
But I don't understand it. It must be around here. I can't seem to find it.
Well, maybe you can't find it because it doesn't exist.
Now, look here. I paid you all the money in the world. Instead of grumbling, please, let's try to solve this problem.
Okay, Professor, you start figuring.
We must be near the cave. We must be. Why, I worked in this part of the country for years. But somehow it's changed. It's different. Perhaps there have been some landslides. There seem to be more rocks and less vegetation. What time have you got?
It's 11:50. Oh, my watch stopped.
So is mine. At 11:15. But it's past noon.
That's funny.
Why should both our watches stop at the same moment? Perhaps a magnetic field in it. Look at your compass.
Holy smoke. Look at it.
That's it. That machine must create a magnetic field around it. We must be very near. Come on. Come
Okay.
on. Kemp, come here, quickly. You didn't believe it. Kemp, here it is. It's real. Just as I said. It's real. It's here.
Beware, there's danger in the sands. Yes, danger to your watch. In fact, what with hot weather activities and sticky
Tales of
temperatures and
tomorrow.
perspiration, Summertime is the worst time for your watch, but it can be a good time, and here's how. Take your watch to a reliable jeweler. Let him check up and dress up your watch. Let him show you how wonderful your watch can look.
Let him dress you.
Your watch will be rejuvenated on the inside, and at the same time, it will be restyled on the outside when your old band is replaced by a new Chrysler watch band. And your most personal possession, your watch, can be personalized too with the Your Signet Expansion Watch Band by Chrysler, the only watch band that's initialed just for you. Yes, your Signet features your initials right in the design. No other band is so completely personal, so exclusively yours. But be sure to ask for Your Signet by Chrysler, the band that makes your watch look better than you. And for the ladies, there's an exquisite feminine version of the Your Signet watch band with
You
your
look
personal
like crap
monogram.
to your own watch.
Best of all, these exclusive Chrysler bands cost no more than many bands without initials. Only $9.95 for the ladies, and for men,
Don't be
only
weird.
$11.95. So check up and dress up your watch.
Get our watch.
Your jeweler makes your watch run like new. Have him make it look like new with Your Signet by Chrysler. And now back to your Tales of Tomorrow. Verdict from space.
I totally forgot in this episode.
You can see it with your own eyes.
Yes.
It's real. Yeah. It's real. It's here. I'll start here, Professor, where there should be a locking mechanism of some sort. The torch hasn't even made a dent in it yet. Listen. Professor, did you hear it? Yes. Something is happening. Something is happening inside the door. It's a heat lock. That's what it is, a heat lock. But we don't even need the torch to cut the door. The heat alone will open it.
It may have kickstarted a lot of
And there it is. It has been here for the past 1,000,000 years. Have you ever seen anything like it before? Thought I'd seen every kind of machine. I've never come across anything like this. This part of the machine is the recorder. The wire running between these two spools records every physical disturbance on the Earth. Look, this mark indicates a volcanic explosion somewhere. The date is the destruction of Pompeii. This indentation is a minor tremor on the floor of the Pacific Ocean. The date is the date of the San Francisco earthquake. It took me many years to learn what those marks meant. What's this crimson? This is the first mark of its kind on the wire. The date was July 16th, 1945. July 16th. The day the first A-bomb was exploded at Alamogordo. Right. And here is the second crimp, Hiroshima. But who could make a machine like this 1,000,000 years ago? Who? I don't know. But before I'm through, I'll find out. And history will be written from the day I speak. Professor, what does this part do over here? I haven't gotten around to that one yet. Wait. This isn't just another part of the recorder. This is something different. It looks like it's a transmitter. Oh, sure, and this must be the antenna. No, it couldn't be. Yes, it is a transmitter. Maybe whoever put this machine here was waiting until something important happened. So we've got to get the Army intelligence right away. No, I tell you, this machine is harmless. It's been here before there were armies, or before there were cities, or a civilization. Look, I've listened to this rot long enough. Now, come on, we've got to get out of here. Look!
You grab my
The
boobie?
wire. It's recording something right now. Another crimp. What do you make of it? Looks like an A-bomb, only much bigger. Whatever it is, this transmitter is sending out that information. This is what it's here for. It's got to be stopped, Professor. Oh, you can't destroy it. It's my discovery. It's my life's work. You can't destroy it. Get out of my way, Professor. You can't destroy it.
Watch out for that coming down!
Ah. How long is it going to take me to
You're ruined. You've ruined it. All my work. All my hope.
Come on, we've got to get out of here. The whole thing is going to blow up. Look, Professor, the door. Come on, you old fool. I've got to have the fool. Come on, Professor. Come on. They won't believe us. Come on. I must have the fool.
Gone. All gone. Completely demolished. Just as though it had never been there.
Got to get you to a doctor, Professor.
No, too late. It's too late, Kemp.
You'll be okay if we can just get you to a doctor.
Listen to me, Kemp. Promise me. You must tell them everything that has happened. Even if they don't believe you, you must tell them that I discovered all this. That it was I who...
Me.
Kim. They've reached their verdict. They'll be coming back in.
This court is now in session. Everyone will rise. The defendant will rise and face the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
What is your verdict?
We find the defendant, Gordon Kemp, guilty of murder in the first degree.
On the basis of the facts presented in this courtroom, I feel that the jury has arrived at the only possible verdict. I wish to thank the jury for the fine services it has rendered to the state. Gordon Kemp, you have heard the verdict arrived at by a jury of your peers in open trial. Have you anything to say in explanation or in extenuation before sentence is passed upon you?
I didn't kill Professor Sykes. I'm not guilty. I've told you that again and again. You had your chance, but you wouldn't listen. I tried to explain what that crimp in the wire meant the day the professor and I were in the cave. That wire recorded the first H-bomb explosion. I didn't believe what Professor Sykes told me, but now I know. Somewhere in this universe, someone has been watching us for 1,000,000 years, waiting until we had the secret information when we could power a super atomic type torch. The deadliest enemy that we have ever had to face is out there in space, ready to destroy us now that we have the H-bomb. Right now, this very minute, he is out there. They're coming. I don't know when they're coming.
And who, Mr. Kemp? Who received this information?
I don't know. Someone out there. Someone out in space. Someone who knew that we could threaten them as soon as we had the H-bomb to power spaceships and fight wars in space. The verdict of this jury is that I am guilty of murder, but I am not guilty of anything else that may happen to you or to your wives or to your children. I've tried to tell you everything I know about it. Everything that Professor Sykes told me was true. They're coming. I don't know when they're coming, but they're coming. Somehow they have found that we have developed superatomic power, and now we can be a threat to them. And they don't want that, and they're going to stop us. I don't know when they're coming, but they're coming. And when they do, maybe you'll realize... Look up
We're here for the climax. I knew as soon as James joined the screen.
With no context.
Whatever
Tales of tomorrow.
the final verdict was delivered from space.
It was good.
And now let us leave Tales of Tomorrow and consider something that is very important for you today.
What's that? What's that thing? Come on.
Uh-oh, she's heading for trouble. Yes, trouble for her watch. What with playing and hot, muggy weather and perspiration, summertime is the worst time for your watch.
You
But
don't
it
wanna
can
sweat
be
your
a
watch.
good time, and here's how. Take your watch to a reliable jeweler.
As equally
Let him
important
check up
as the
and
end
dress
of the
up
world.
your watch. Let him show you how wonderful your watch can look. Your watch will be rejuvenated on the inside and beautified on the outside when your old band is replaced by a new Chrysler watch band. Ask your jeweler to show you the Elegant, today's greatest value in ladies' expansion watch bands. Imagine Elegant costs only $4.95. Yes, only $4.95.
Don't worry, this will only
Notice its
last for
simple
another
classic
3-4
beauty that's always in fashion. Elegant goes with all your clothes, and Chrysler's Elegant watch band is as light as a feather. So
Watch band
delicate,
for
you can scarcely feel it on
$4.95.
your wrist.
It's amazing.
Notice the convenient telescopic expansion that
That's the
quickly
part
allows
I'm
you to
thinking
slip
of,
your
like,
watch up
yeah.
out of the way
You're
for
really
household
going
tasks.
for
$30 watch
And
bands.
the Chrysler Elegant carries the same guarantee
With
as
this
bands costing many times more. No other telescope
Apple
expansion
Watch.
band at so low a price is made to wear so well and last so long.
All right. $4.95 for that watch band. Would you buy it?
I mean, you buy a lot of things that only cost $4.95.
But like with inflation, that was probably like $10 billion. I don't know how math works.
I don't even know what year that was, so I couldn't do that math.
As far as I know, that was just a TikTok I found and aired. Hey, James, how are you?
Hey, Frank, I'm good.
I'm going to do an extreme close-up with you.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Your face is just so wonderful.
Yeah,
So.
slightly better than all that negative space. So how's life been? How are things going?
I'm good. It's cold. There's a lot of snow. And I'm looking for things to do. I'm working on some smart home projects. I got some comics in the mail today.
Nice. Oh, nice. What are they? I didn't see what they were. I assume
So
Sonic.
they did a Mega Man limited run of comics, a company called Udon Comics.
Nice.
And they've done a single issue from like every Mega Man property or series, right? But these are two of my favorite series or properties, Zero and Legends, and they have the original, but these kept getting delayed. So like I pre-ordered these like back when they were supposed to come out in October. It's January, but I'm excited. The Zero one's co-written by Ian Flynn, who's the guy who's the head of all the Sonic comics at IDW, who I also like. So,
that's pretty cool. I picked up a comic.
Games stuff.
I picked up a comic a few months ago. I wanted to tell you about. I don't even know if I did tell you about it. This is probably it's been so long since we've talked that I don't even know if I've said all my things to you already. You know what I mean? Where is it? Let me see if I can share the screen because I don't have I don't have it physically.
Well, I've missed you. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I missed you.
Oh no, it's gone forever.
No.
Did I delete it forever? Oh no, that's what I get for not finishing it. Because I have not finished it. I read like the intro. I'm like, oh, you know who loved this? James. Let me throw it in the garbage. Oh, I'm silly. I went to the wrong.
Right now. What do you got?
So, it's DC comic Sonic the Hedgehog in the DC universe.
Lucas, I read all of these. I got them.
Have?
Yeah, I got them in my comic box at the comic shop, and Lucas and I read them all.
Oh,
And
how did you like it?
They were pretty wild.
Yeah, it got really odd in the first issue, and I was like, do I want to keep following this? Probably, but I'm not a big enough Sonic fan.
I think the thing that threw me off about it was just how deep into Mother and Father Box lore they had to go. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, sure, half of your audience is me, and I understand that. I said, but the other half of your audience is my 8-year-old son. And he was like, what?
Yeah. I thought he has to go fast. Yeah.
Right? Like, no, Sonic being the Flash, like that was perfect.
Yeah,
he loved that part.
Fun.
And then it was like, well, Darkseid has to use the Mother Box to, and if he collects all the Mother Boxes and combines them with the Chaos Emeralds, and I'm like, and don't get me wrong, the Sonic comics can have some lore to them, but it doesn't ever go too deep, because I think it does remember its audience primarily is, the audience of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Which is
all
40-year-old men.
Yeah, I would call you the Sonic the Hedgehog audience as well, though.
I am.
So it's hard to.
But you have to make it accessible for everyone.
So I am. There is one comic I've been keeping up with regularly that has a frustrating release schedule. It's called Sleep. It is a it's a dream of parents. No, I'm trying to remember who. It's an IDW comic. Xander Cannon. Okay, have to look it up. Xander Cannon. I think it's an 8-issue series. I think it's on 6 or 7 now. I think it may be on 7, which is killing me because it's like, oh God, is it going to end like this? Well, it's about this guy who, normal guy, goes to sleep, and every time he goes to sleep, something horrible happens. He may or may not become a monster. I think by now we know he's a monster. There isn't really any spoilers because I don't really know what's happening yet, but it's just really well done. What they're doing with black and white and a little bit of red is so beautiful. It's such a good comic. Cool. I really want to do Near Mint again so much, just because I want to talk about comics that I love.
Near Mint with people that I like. I do Near Mint.
Yeah, we could do that. I would love to. And the one thing that keeps coming up on my notifications is the Star Trek recording session.
It still comes up on mine too.
I can't get rid of it. No, but man, we can figure something out. So, this is. Sorry.
I was going to say, continue with the comics. I read. I'm a big Brian K. Vaughan guy, and I read his. Where is it? Is that the password? No. Well, I've been waiting for the incredibly unreliable releases of the final couple issues of Saga. I read his newest.
Wait, did I say IDW or did I say Image Comics for Sleep?
You said IDW. Well,
it's definitely Image. I don't know why I said IDW.
Image
Probably because I saw the I and gave up. Just in case anybody's catching this and wants to know. Yeah.
His comic Spectators. Which I would love someone else to read it, because it has a lot going on with how we consume media through this sort of like voyeuristic and sexual lens, and there's a lot to unpack there. And when I first read it, I'm like, I don't 100% know what to make of this. I think I enjoyed it, but there's a lot, and it requires another go.
And somebody else to talk to, so you don't feel like you're going crazy.
Exactly.
I'd read it. I'm interested. I have not finished.
It's like a big one shot.
Yeah. Oh, really? It's just oh, that's great. Yeah, that's
one,
my speed.
It was released as one like graphic novel. I think it's how many pages is it? The page counts come up. It's like 300 pages. But it's
nice. What was it called again?
One go. Spectators.
Spectators. All right. I might take a look at that. I might pull it. But yeah, I mean, Near Mit's been on my list forever to bring back because I just love it so. It's just a matter of finding time. Even this is just sort of like a weekly excuse to hang out and talk about what we're working on, maybe light a fire under our asses on anything we're personally working on. Right now, I mean, talking about personal, I just want to clear out my workspace, my studio and my workbench area is just full of shit. And it's just like I can't get to any project because there's so much stuff that is just piled up. Because everything's kind of like it's all back burner. Like it's just a bunch of back burners. Nothing is happening, so it's just a bunch of back burners. So I did a lot today alone, getting that cleared up and setting up a few cameras so I could actually show what I'm working on and doing some cool stuff, hopefully. The thing I really am excited about, because everyone was really happy about it, and I'm just enjoying it a lot so far, is Dungeon Crawler Carl as book club.
I need to know where you are and what you think so far, because
I'm really early. I'm only in the first book.
Okay.
We're not going yet, and I'm pretty early in it. Like he's going through the tutorials in the guild hall, and he's murdered his first bunch of mob bosses and stuff. I just now figured out.
I think they were goblins, right?
All the time. I my gut says, oh, this is a tabletop RPG. Like I always lean on tabletop RPG, but I'm like, oh no, this is a computer RPG. That's why it translates so well. But like, obviously, it doesn't matter. It's funny.
No, are you reading, or have you listened?
So far, I'm reading. I've heard great things from you and from others that the audiobook is amazing.
Stellar. The production of the audiobook is just like next level. So like, I mean, just keep reading it. Like it's obviously it's a good, easy, fun read, but like. Yeah. If you get a chance to check out a chapter of the audiobook, I think it's totally worth it.
I think that's what my plan is, because I've heard so much good things, and I love a good audio cast. I think World War Z was the last one I listened to that I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's not a full cast, but the guy who Jeff Hayes, I think is it, he just does such a great job with the different voices and the way he does the AI and the other elements to the show, it just really brings it together. And then there's just a light bit of like audio production for like the menu noises and the chat sounds and these other little parts of the system, right? The video game-ness of the RPG elements that it's just perfect, it's just perfect.
That's cool.
I'm really, really excited that you're reading it. I started like at the end of last year. I just finished another book series, which is also very, very good, that I highly recommend, called Red Rising, which is a really good like space opera, sci fantasy, but it's so heavy. Mm-hmm. It's not light. Fun is not a word I would use.
Yeah.
Well, there are fun elements. It's not like fun and breezy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, because there are another 4 books in that series. And I was like, I needed something to break this up.
Yeah.
And that's when I pivoted to Dungeon Crawler Carl. And it's just been, it's not that it doesn't have obviously the seriousness of the situation. I mean, it starts out at the end of the world, right?
Yeah. But it's definitely cranked up. Gonzo fun.
I will say I was a little called out by a TikTok that a friend of mine who's reading it along with me sent. That's a Gen Z person reading this book, and they said this is the most millennial thing I have ever experienced. And it's true. I didn't think of it in that way until someone who wasn't a millennial called that out. But it is just somewhat perfectly encapsulating, I think, a humor and a time period and an obsession that I think fits for the me's of the world.
Yeah, I am fascinated by how much crap millennials are getting from Gen Z. It's
so much crap.
It's so much, and it's amazing to me. I guess I consider myself Generation X. I'm like right on the border.
exactly.
None of this means anything. It's all bullshit for the most part.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, some of it's going to mean something just because, yeah, you and a bunch of people all went through the same major like
Experience.
technological advances and historical incidents together at the same time. But like, it's fun-ish to see like millennials on the ropes from boomers and probably older Gen X, and then eventually they're, all right, now that we're in our 40s, we're like, oh, Gen Z, what the fuck? What are we doing? Leave us alone, please. And yeah, it's just,
We're taking it for both sides.
it really is amazing to me that you guys are getting it so hard about so many different things. But yeah, whatever it is. We're all gonna be dead soon, anyways.
But yeah,
I meant
I'm
like
on board.
because human lifespans are
Yeah,
finite,
fine.
and also because this next year is gonna be hell. But
I'm on book. I think I'm on book 5. I'm on book 5
of
Dungeon Crawler Carl.
yeah, all right.
Yeah, I've just been pounding them back.
Yeah, I actually had to slow down at one point. I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish this in a month if I don't, which actually is not a problem, but we don't really have a pacing. I don't know how we want to do book club. We've tried the book club for the entire year, which was one of my favorites, but it's also like a book that I will read. It was Lord of the Rings trilogy, and it's a book I will read every year just because I like to.
I feel like it's digestible over a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, not that, again, I'm loving Dungeon Crawler Carl, but like, I don't have a lot to ruminate on after
a
chapter.
It's just laugh.
It's like popcorn. I want the next chapter. I don't necessarily need to dwell on the events of the last chapter. It reminds me of, did you read the Walking Dead comic?
Yeah, some of it. It
reminds me of how I felt reading The Walking Dead. I never like sat and ruminated on the comics in The Walking Dead, but I liked its breakneck pace. Just always got me. Like I'd end and be like, I want another one.
Yeah.
The same thing with and this is probably a reference you're not going to get from maybe somebody listening or watching. Well, I just did a few months ago. I did the anime Solo Leveling, which got super popular a couple of months ago.
I vaguely remember it. It's that same kind of,
Yeah, it's the same kind of Dungeon Crawler Carl, this real life RPG thing, right? And it's not particularly special, but again, it has this sort of pacing and way of stopping and setting up the next bit to be like, just one more.
Yeah, you got to know when to end the chapter. That's the trick.
Just one more, right? Yeah. And that's sort of the and I guess that's the formula, right, these days with the way media consumption works. I mean, you could spend an entire lifetime just trying to consume what came out last year.
Yeah, right? I actually read that. I read a think piece on that very recently, where they're like, it's the difference between different generations and the kind of media.
The idea that we older generations know more pop culture and more past media because when they were trying to fill airtime, either at movie theaters or on TV or whatever, right? It was available for us to consume, but now you sort of consume on demand, and you're consuming. There's so much new stuff that you don't really go back and consume the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. But yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying is I guess that's the magic formula that everybody's trying to get, right? Your thing is good current media if it has that sort of popcorn mentality to it, where you can, you're like, I just want to digest one more chapter. I just want to digest one more book. I just want to get one more episode, one more chapter, one more comic, one more whatever. Yeah, that's how they get you.
Speaking of good current media, what did you think? You finished Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I liked it. I had a good time with it. I think the Duffer Brothers commented on like, oh, well, we wanted it to sort of end like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, right? Like everybody got their moment, everybody got to shine, and I can relate to that, and I think that was enjoyable. And it's tough because I think there's a lot of criticism for, and I'm going to call it the marvelization of things, right? This sort of like softball media that's not too challenging. And I don't ever, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? I feel like there's such a focus on that being a negative thing, like well, all the media out there is this, right? But I don't think that's true, right? I think there's plenty of media that is challenging, right? So I don't have a problem with. I don't need every piece of media to come out and be incredibly challenging or make some sort of giant statement or whatever, as long as there's still media being produced that does that.
Yeah, I mean, not everything could be like a 7-course dinner. You want a light snack sometimes, and I think that's fine. And honestly, I'm not even I don't think I don't even think Stranger Things boils down to like. I think a lot of people. I think it's tall poppy more than anything. I think it was such a popular show and so in everyone's face for so long that it's very easy for you to be a hater of something like that, where it's just too popular, too big, and it's really easy for you to just sort of look down your nose at it.
But I don't think, compared to other major pop cultural ending disasters, right? People are like, oh, Stranger Things ending is terrible. And all I'm thinking is like, we all lived through Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I thought I think they stuck the landing incredibly well. The one thing I would have a little hesitation on is, I don't even know how I would do it better, but I was a little hesitant on how, I guess, spoiler alert, is how or 11, how she didn't seem to have a lot of agency in her own. No, that's not true. The way it was shot and the way it was told, she didn't even have a voice over in that part, kind of like, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's having Mike tell everyone their ending was bad DMing. But no, it's like, you get it. It's like, it's fine because they're in the room, they're reacting, but she was just sort of like in the wind theoretically, and I felt there was something.
She couldn't be a part of that moment realistically, the way that ending was framed. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't. I don't necessarily. Yeah, like you said, when you start with the agency thing, I'm like, no, I think the ending was about her agency, right?
Yeah,
but I understand that she doesn't get to play a narrative part in that ending, and then that does kind of suck. I get that.
Yeah. But overall, I thought it was incredibly well done. I mean, season 4, the penultimate season, I think in terms of plotting was one of my. I rewatched the whole thing up until it and had no one to talk to, so you're now suffering through this. But like, it was probably my least favorite in terms of plotting. There were great character moments. There's great acting performances in it. But I think in season 3, where you have people, like half the cast was in Russia, that was frustrating the first time I watched it. The second time I was like, I knew where this is going, so it was fine.
I think that season 3, I think, is my favorite season. That Russia is the one with the one where they're half in Russia, and is Eddie a part of that season, or is that season 4?
No, that's season 4. And Eddie was in that. And I think Eddie's performances, it was great performances, great character moments. But the thing that bothered me in 4 was that we traded this, in terms of plotting, only in terms of story and plotting, is we traded the antagonist as this unknowable kind of force. We traded it for like an evil boy. He's an evil boy who was born evil. He's an evil boy. Henry Creel is the evil boy. And I'm like, this is just, it's lesser than it was. It did allow for some amazing storytelling, and even from the actors who played the Vecna and Henry Creel and whatever. It was interesting, but not great in that sense. But they brought it back, and I think they did a wonderful job recontextualizing everything in season 5, so that it all kind of made sense. And you bring back the otherworldliness, but you also keep the humanity of, like, is he an agent? Does he have control over his own, what he's doing, in a way? It's hard to say, even if he is not physically being mind controlled.
I mean, how long has he been? How long has that suggestion been in his mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want to simplify this by making it, child abuse, but there is an element of that. And it's interesting that I love the fact that the storytellers of this cared about it. You could tell that they cared about it. They pieced this together and made something that made sense for them. When a lot of high profile, I don't want to throw Game of Thrones under the bus, but maybe I should. A lot of the high profile things were like, let's just get past we got to get across the finish line. Let's just get across the finish line. It doesn't matter how we do it. Let's just do it. And I'm sure they cared a certain amount, but it did not feel.
I don't know if they did.
It's been a while since I've seen it, and I have not really thought about it again.
I feel bad because it's so, almost, and try not to focus too much on Game of Thrones, so circling back, but Wes and Beanoff were, I think, very interesting early on, because Game of Thrones, the early seasons, really shone in the stuff they added essentially to fill time and space, right? These small character moments between these actors, right? Not these big action sequences, but these small character moments they had between these actors, right? In season 1, that became a staple of 2 and 3, right? That they just filmed after the fact because all the episode times were just a little short, right? That's what made Game of Thrones shine early on, when it was their turn to deal with the plot, right? They sort of lost those small character moments, with the exception of maybe an episode here or an episode there. And then by the time, Game of Thrones was so popular and they got so much credit for, moving that show forward, that, they had 700 projects lined up, right? Like, they had a Netflix deal that was worth $1 billion. They had that Confederate show that was going to happen with HBO. They were tagged with Kathleen Kennedy for Star Wars. I don't know about you. I don't know in what way I would not be like, let's get past the finish line here.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's sad and or fitting about that is after Game of Thrones ending bombed, everyone broke those contracts. They gave them.
How do you really feel, James?
Pay out break money and let them move on with their lives. And I guess they're still doing that one show for Netflix, the one that's like co-produced with China.
The 3 Body Problem, is that them? No.
Yes,
it is.
Which is supposed to be pretty good. But they went from obviously, what looked like
King of the Worlds to
700 projects to Netflix being like, well, we need more content, whatever.
But yeah, I have God, there's so much stuff that I just enjoy, and I just don't want to hear anybody talking about it. Like, that's enough, man. Wonder Man is another thing. I don't know. Have you seen any of Wonder Man?
No, I haven't, but it looks good, and I like its meta take. I think is going to be super interesting and fun, so it's definitely on the watch. We've been focusing on some video games right now. Katie's been playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is just a blast because it's just like an Indiana Jones adventure.
Oh, really?
Like perfect.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I've been watching that, and then I've been playing games on my Steam Deck while she does that. We've been focusing on some video games, but we have to get back to the TV lot. We finished up with Stranger Things sort of at the end of the year, and we were like, all right, some video games for a while.
Have you happened to watch The Chair Company? It's on HBO Max. It's got. Did you ever see? I Think You Should Leave. It's a sketch comedy show on Netflix.
I've heard of that. I don't think I've seen it.
It's hilarious. You've probably seen GIFs and memes from it. It's really good. So this is going to be for the few people who might be watching and wanting me to say more about that. Is it Tim Robinson or Tom? I think it's Tim Robinson. I think you should leave. Let me make sure. I don't want to. Yeah, Tim Robinson. So there's a sketch comedy show called I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. It is hilarious. It's on Netflix. I definitely recommend it. It is just awkward as hell. People falling into very, very awkward situations and just burying themselves alive in those awkward situations. And so yeah, if you're one of those people that suffers from like, what is it when you're you can't deal with like awkwardness by proxy, you might have a problem with the show, but you may not because it's so surreal that it isn't. Anyways,
I am that person.
you
So
are.
like I can watch the craziest drama, but you want to know what skeeves me? Like a sitcom,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
When you get to that climax of the sitcom, and the guy's like, he's balancing his 3 girlfriends, and you're like, why don't he just tell the truth? Oh my God!
I'm very curious what you would think. I think this thing, it's sort of like the Uncanny Valley, where I think it notches it up. The uncomfortableness is notched up to such a surreal level. You're like, what? Why? Why did you do this?
Big. Like I don't have that big of a problem with like Curb Your Enthusiasm or even Seinfeld. I feel like some of the problems that happen on those, it's just so great. Again, like you said, it's just so
and this
unrealistic.
is definitely going to be okay for you because this is way beyond. Like if you look at the characters in Seinfeld and you're like, why are they still like pushing this issue? It's ridiculous that anyone would, and this guy is just off the walls. It's hilarious. Now take that same crew. This is going to be bad for you, James, but good for anybody else who's a fan. Who's seen very popular. I Think You Should Leave, but not so much The Chair Company, and give them the budget to do like a mystery thriller on HBO Max, which is the premise of like a sketch from their show, but over the course of 8 episodes. So like I'm literally watching this thing. I'm like, is this supposed to be serious? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? Don't do this. It's really interesting. I would like you to see it just to see it. But if you're gonna watch anything on my suggestion list, watch Wonder Man first because it's got a cool like a film. Like as a person who likes Marvel movies but also likes film, film.
Yeah,
that's easy film. I think you'll be interested in this. So far, it's really
cinema.
Yes, that's it.
I watched The Studio.
Everyone's favorite character from early.
We watched The Studio. We're talking about awkward comedies and movies.
Oh, I have not seen that yet.
So that's good. That was Apple TV, and it was it's basically that awkward sitcom thing, but Seth Rogen becomes the head of an old style traditional like studio, right? And cool. He's trying to get a bunch of movies made, but he's like, well, I love films and cinema, and I want to make a movie with Martin Scorsese, and I love movies, and then it's and then his boss comes in, he's like, we need to make money and make franchises, and I got the IP for you. You're going to make the Kool-Aid movie. And it's
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so good. Oh man, I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's really funny.
That's good. Oh man. All right. Yeah, I think like I'm trying to look back at my list of things I want to talk to James about, and there is a list of other things.
Did you see the Sanderson news that I'm excited about?
No.
Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, all of the properties in his universe have been licensed with his creative control to Apple TV.
Oh. They make great stuff when you could see
high caliber stuff.
When you could see it.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited for some sort of TV version of his stuff. Movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll take forever.
Yeah, I really am curious whether Netflix is going to be able to get Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, disaster. No matter which way it goes, it's a disaster. It's a disaster no matter what, right? So two takes on this, right? So one, Netflix buys Warner Brothers, and they again continue to have more content because they can create more content because they can have access to a larger backlog of content because streaming companies, obviously the business model is completely bankrupt and has no ability to grow outside of consuming other companies to expand. Or, realistically speaking, it doesn't go through and they eliminate competition because nothing can happen when Warner Brothers is in an active deal. Warner Brothers can't make any major moves, right? They can sort of continue with existing projects, but you're limited sort of what you can do as a purchased company or a company being purchased when that deal is being negotiated. Both the purchaser and purchasee company have limitations on what they can do. And because of Zaslav, Warner Brothers is already light on a slate of things in production. So even if this doesn't happen, what happens is Netflix has basically hampered Warner Brothers' ability to make major moves during this time period, devaluing it overall and hurting its competition. So it's a lose-lose for us.
I suspect that it will not. I'm going to record this so that later on I can be showed how stupid and wrong I am. I suspect that it probably will not go through, and I suspect that it will not take too long in the process because there's a lot of players at stake who do not, they would be pushing to hang forever. But then again, the world is up its own ass so extremely that it would be impossible for me to say that with any real confidence. Like, I also have a feeling that the floor will drop out of AI. Not that it's going away, it won't, but
no.
There's an element of AI, the venture capital element, that might be failing soon. What Peter Thiel sold all his stock in his in the OpenAI companies. He's back. There's a lot of signs that there's a good chance it's going to. I mean, none of these companies are making money. They're all failing miserably.
No, but also the problem too is that prices don't go down, right? What did I had this conversation with my boss once, and he's like, "Oh, well, this is inflation," blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Bruno, sorry, I named my boss on the stream no one's watching, but the boss, I said, and I love you, but price of gas has never gone down to 50 cents, back down to 50 cents, right? Once you're used to paying a higher price for something, that's just the price, right? So once we're used to paying the price for the higher RAM and the higher GPUs because they were hard to get for AI, prices are just going to stay up, right? You're paying for your service now with your machine learning algorithm built in. You pay an extra $50 a month for that. You're just going to keep paying it, even if the usefulness of that machine learning algorithm just doesn't do anything for you. And I'm not, and then some of our friends probably jumped down my throat. I'm not like it's artificial intelligence, so it is inherently bad. There's nothing inherently bad about a machine learning algorithm, right? Capitalism is bad. That's the problem, right? It's not the tool. It's the society in which it exists.
Yeah. There's a lot broken that it'll be hard to fix anytime soon. But then again, as I was saying, the world is very up its own ass. So it is probably maybe equally implausible that an amazing thing will happen. So we'll see, I guess. But yeah. So are you working on anything now that you want to talk about? Anything you want to work on or do? You keep saying
I still want you to watch and or listen to Epic the Musical.
Oh shit, I forgot we talked about that. Yeah.
I just finished Hell of a Boss, which ended up being very good. which is the sequel or the companion series to what do you call Has Been Hotel. That ended up being really good at the end. Like it's being really sweet. But yeah, I want you to listen to Epic. I want you to watch Epic. I want to know your thoughts on Epic, the musical.
Did I tell you about was it Horror Hotel? It was on Netflix. No, well, you know what? I don't know what it is.
Well, I know what you're talking about, and yes, I think you did, but I don't.
It's really good. They're only the keyword hotel made me think of that. Okay, so the runtime is 2 hours 15 minutes for Epic the Musical. Does that sound about right to you?
Yes, but it's split up into sagas. So we could do. So there's like 4 songs saga, 3 songs a saga, 5 songs a saga, right? Depending on the saga. So we could do it in chunks. And there's different people do different whips, right, for these like little animations, right? Mm-hmm. So we could either choose like one person who's got like a complete animation that goes all the way through for consistency, or make more fun, we could get like find like a list of the best animations for each song, or maybe drop a poll maybe on the Epic Reddit or something to be like, if we're going to watch this for the first time, which animations would you use, or something like that, so that we can get a mix of different styles and people's different interpretations, which I think would be fun.
I love that. If you want to take the lead on that, I mean, and then we could do it like on the server. We could just watch it and on the Discord server and just make sure a lot of people are available, even if it's not. Give you a playlist too.
I know a lot of people of our circle of friends and extended friends who know of and would probably jump in to listen to some Epic. So
let's do that. Let's see. Let's start that up. All right. Let's not even add more stuff to our to-do list. If you could do that, I would love it. Because I mean, I remember you talking about it, and I'm looking at all my old bookmarks for it and stuff, and it looks amazing. But yeah, just figuring out.
It is kind of amazing. So Epic playlist of different.
It could either be one or different. I kind of like different just because,
I like different too. I think that's a more interesting way. It gives you something additional to talk about.
Yeah.
We're not the first people to do this, right? So a lot of people have done watch-alongs of this, and the ones I seem to enjoy the most that I've seen are the ones who watch the different ones, because then they can be like, oh, well, I really liked, Gwendy's interpretation of Odysseus here, or Poseidon, or I like how this was done, right? Particularly for reoccurring characters who you see through lenses of different artists and designers, right? So it just adds sort of another layer to chat about as you go through.
And maybe done Carl as book 1 chapter summaries. How many chapters? Okay. Wow. Parts? Part 1, part 2. Wow. So we could theoretically do a chapter a week, and it'll be like a year, which is not necessary for this. I think
no, the chapters are fast.
Like maybe 10. I don't know. I'll do the math. I'll actually do math on that to try to get this done within like a month or maybe 2 months, just to get people going with it. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it takes me like a month to finish a book.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think that's a realistic timeline. But I would definitely, it's still all very fresh in my mind. So I will chime in and talk, Carl.
And again, it's not like you need to book and verse,
and then
right?
The new book comes out this year. So
nice.
If we catch up, when does it come out? Maybe that's how you do time it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're up for reading 6 of these in a row.
I think it really depends on how much I like the first one, but I'm not opposed to it, especially because this feels like a May 12th tentative release date. May 12th, 2026.
Book 8.
That's a lot of reading.
I did this with the Stormlight Archive, which are Sanderson's big Gigundo books. I started like a year in advance, and I got through all of them before the release of Wind and Truth, the fifth one and the first part of its universe. I mean, really good, but it was an aggressive timeline.
That's the problem with having a quick commute for me, man. I don't get as much reading done.
Well, and I'll drive to some of the shows, right? So like during that time period, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that show in Boston. I'll drive.
Yeah.
DC, yes, 4 hours. That's good.
You're supposed to prepare your deck. What are you doing? Oh,
it's a good chunk of time.
Yeah. So if Epic the Musical works out, let's try to revisit doing a movie podcast, because I have a bunch of stuff I want to work on. But
I have every movie of interest that I basically get recommended at this point ends up on my Plex. I have hundreds of movies I've added, and I've watched none of them. So
that's good
to watch movies.
That's another kind of that's a way of controlling in uncertain times. It's hoarding of media. Yeah,
that's what I did. I moved everything over to, we were texting the other day, they're going to get found out by Warner Brothers, right? But
we own them.
We do. I just started digitizing everything I had, right, onto a local NAS, and getting my copies of the things I've bought, downloading the copies of my audiobooks from Amazon, and downloading my games, and just like, someone could say, hey, you don't have access to this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like, that'd be a shame. I have what do you call? I want to show Lucas at one point Infinity Train, which is like a really good short cartoon series, but the last 2 seasons don't exist anywhere. I got the only season of Why the Last Man. You can't watch that anywhere.
Wow.
A comic that I think is genius for a show that I never watched. I mean, they only got 1 season, but still, I don't want to lose that, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
There's a script going around. It's been going around for like 40 years at least. For I think John Borman from Excalibur. You remember? Do you ever see early 80s Excalibur? Did a version of The Lord of the Rings. And I think it apparently worked with Tolkien a little bit on it, because as much as Tolkien worked on anything, we're trying to license it out. It was try not to be animated. That's all I want. That's not true, but that was one of the things.
He was notoriously critical of any sort of adaptation of this work.
Yeah, and the thing is, everybody who wanted to adapt it wanted to adapt it as an animated thing, because it's
particularly at the time, right?
Epic.
How would you do it any other way?
Yeah, but Borman wanted to do it as a film, and it is the weirdest screenplay you could ever read. It is insane. There's a 3-way between Boromir, Aragorn, and Arwen, kind of. That's 3 ways a little much, but there is a lot of
the love
kissing each other
and
it's weird. It is extremely odd. And obviously they've never filmed any of it, but I'm glad that script exists. I'm glad that I could still see it, sort of. And there's this great line from him where he's like, I'm glad my film wasn't made because it was out there, and something along the lines of, and if my film had been made, Peter Jackson's films wouldn't have been, and they're amazing. So really, he owes me a lot for not having this film get made. And that's a cool way of looking at it. But yeah, so think of all the people out there with an amazing. I've just flashed an eBay gift card just as an Easter egg for anybody. I don't know where I got this from. I just found it on my desk. That everybody who owes us a tip of the hat and a thank you for not putting out a podcast, because we're just giving you.
And they got to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean,
because we
remember
weren't
our original
successful.
show, Frank Kablawi Needs a Friend.
Yeah.
it was great. And then
I mean,
find one,
you
so
know,
we gave it to
Keith
him.
of the Try Guys gets to do eat the menus because we didn't do our eat everything at McDonald's is on film. We just did it on podcast, right?
That's right. That's right.
He's successful because we decided not to.
We gave this to you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It was nice talking and hanging out again.
It is. I miss you.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Yeah. I really hope we could do the Epic the Musical because that's like I think like that could be a great gateway drug because that's all I really want to do is I want to hang out with friends again. I don't really care about if anybody's watching this or doing anything. I want to do an occasional creative thing, but mostly I want to hang out with friends and watch.
I'll message you. I'll figure out. I'll put out a message or two. I'll figure out a playlist or a thing we're going to use to watch, and then I will. We'll just have to schedule some times in the Discord and at some people.
Yeah, sounds good. Awesome.
Okay, great.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna go pass out on the couch. Maybe watch another episode of Wonder Man. But should we do the end of the stream thing? I wonder if it's scheduled. Let's try it. Okay. Stay in studio until the outro video finishes playing, or the broadcast may not end properly.